In case you hadn't heard it by now, dating is really a scam. Yeah, mijoloki scam, So yes, dating is a scam because everyone most often is selfish. And if this does not matter whether you're a Christian, you'll be surprised that a brother in church, a sister in church, they use you. You date them, but they dump you like a hot potato. Because you know what? The heartbreak, it happens due to attachment. So how do you date without attaching? So that when you are sure that this person is serious, then you can start attaching. There is a way. It is true. First of all, when you meet a person, it is easy to feel attracted. You feel butterflies in your stomach and all these things. So once you start those butterflies, that's why sometimes when people started dating, they say they're in a honeymoon phase. Lovey-dovey and stuff. First of all, you must learn to ignore those butterflies. As much as they text you, they call you, you see them, you get excited. The attachments begins when you begin fantasizing. Start picturing the future together. Start awaiting their call and all. The more you obsess, the more you fantasize, the more you fall in love and the more you start attaching. But the moment you wanna fantasize how it can be, this relationship between you two and all these things, the moment these thoughts are to come and you quickly think of something else, you keep on ignoring. When they call you, you try to contain yourself, control yourself. You don't. Eventually, you'll get used to it, and that phase is gonna pass. You'll get used to that person, and once you get used to that person, the more you ignore, whenever you try to wanna picture them, the more you wanna entertain them or in your mind, and you ignore it, you will get to a phase where now your heart gets used to that person to an extent where you jump, you skip, or you pass that phase. And from that phase, even if you try to fantasize, it will no longer be so because you have passed that phase. So at least in that phase, you would have skipped attachment. In which, secondly, another second thing that you can do is to avoid being in constant communication with this person. Meaning, you should avoid these long phone calls. You should avoid these good morning texts, talking all day, spending time together. When you spend maybe in a week 1 day together only, or maybe you see each other once in 2 weeks, you keep space, keep distance, and you make sure you get used to that. Less communication and all, you will eventually get used to that. And the more you get used to not wanting to be with that person all the time, it helps to avoid you attaching. So that is another way you avoid attachment. So now, maybe you are a guy. Another thing that makes a guy attaches, for example, and even women, I'll tell you, I'm gonna just mix these two. This is the third one. Is a man, what makes him to attach is when he is spending so much money on a woman. Especially when it's common in fact that men, they spend so much money and deep down, maybe he thinks she's gonna sleep with me. He thinks that is how she's gonna wanna be with me. That is how I'm gonna keep her so that she does not dump me. All these things. So the more a man spends money and he does not get anything in return, you find that the lady, maybe she even refuses to sleep with him. Maybe the lady even actually cheats on him. That is what makes men to be so heartbroken, because he feels like something was taken from him. Just like how women, the moment she sleeps with a man and he dumps her, she sleeps with him and he starts ignoring her, she starts hurting because already sleeping with him made her to attach. So a man attaches mostly with money, whereas a woman attaches, or a man attaches mostly when he doing something for a woman, whereas a woman mostly attaches when she has slept with him because something gave. So in order for a woman to avoid attaching, you already know this, avoid sleeping with him. But I know that even without sleeping, you ladies, you do attach. So that a lady must be careful that once I sleep with him, there's a chance. Unless if you find that a lady, she in your mind, I'm not a woman. You know, some women, I think they do sleep with different men and they don't attach. So all in all, women who like sleeping with men, who don't mind, who are not Christians, or you don't practice sex before marriage is a sin. Unless if you have a skill, I think this is how you do it, where you know, I want to touch, I'll take my mind not to expect, blah, blah, blah. But for women, all in all, what I'm saying is, if you're a Christian, I'm not saying go sleep with a man, but what I'm saying is the attachment will begin after sleeping with him. So a man, you know that there are a lot of gold diggers. You be careful with spending money. Rather, you spend that money not expecting anything in return, and you be honest with yourself. So even if a lady wakes up and says she's no longer interested, blah, 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 you won't feel so much hurt and used. And as a result, that no attachment would have occurred, because that's what causes an attachment. Okay? And let me go to the final one. Number 4. Stop obsessing when you are being ignored. When your partner, they start ignoring you, when they start pulling back, they start pulling away, you realize this person is no longer giving me enough time. Today they didn't text me, or they seem like they are losing interest. Did I say something wrong? You get me? The more a person ignores you and you feel like getting worried, because usually in a relationship, you get worried when they pull away. You start chasing more. So the more you are chasing, the more you want to know why. Bit by bit, the more they are playing mind games on you, especially because some people, they play mind games. The more you entertain those mind games, you start obsessing on why. That is when bit by bit you start attaching. But if you are to practice that, you expect that, if they don't text me today, if they act like they no longer want to see you, if they pull away, you don't chase, you act like you didn't notice, you'll be surprised that eventually, even if it's hurting, you train yourself not to go chasing them. You realize 2 days later or a day later, they will contact you again and you act normal, and they do it again. Already they are, I know last time she did ignore me, and she came back on her own, or he ignored me, he came back on his own. It will no longer trouble you when they pull away. You know that I'm gonna let them be. And as a result, it will show, and it will become easier and easier, and it will put you in a place where you are not attached and you never get attached. Hence, you realize most people, when you tell them that when they see that you're about to dump them, they start chasing you more, they start showing you how much, they start buying flowers, they start like explaining a lot, and you'll be like, and I was just joking, I just want to see what she's going. Even women, they like doing this to men. She acts like she's dumping him, only to find if he doesn't chase her, she starts worrying again. And that's when or if he starts chasing more, that's when she realizes, and the man now starts being scared and starts to see how much he has messed up. That is how he gets attached. So don't chase when they pull away. Act normal. If you realize, especially if you can spot it's a mind game that they're playing, don't obsess over it, then you won't attach. And yes, of course, that's all I had for you in today's Modern Dating Bible. I'm Ishi. And for more videos like this, just remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell on your right, and I will see you next time.